Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message for today. And today I want to talk about how we can empower ourselves rather than feeling helpless on our twin flame journeys. The inspiration for this talk came from a session that I did. I did a reading. This is not a TF client, by the way. I do my work through various channels, and when I have the time, I log on to this psychic website where I can do chats and phone calls with just anybody who calls that company and goes through the list of readers, basically. This is a way of me being able to help multiple, um, more people rather than just focusing on one particular group of people, such as the twin flame community, because I find it important to just be able to help empower and give back the feeling of control to as many people as possible. So I was talking to this lady who wanted to know why. She's been in a 2-year relationship and it was just the most awful experience. Well, it was okay at times, but then there are times where she feels that her boyfriend is making her feel very disempowered by saying how great he thinks his ex is and still hanging out with her and things like that. And so she wanted some sort of understanding to get closure on that topic so that she can move forwards and not feel so lost and taken for granted and not good enough. So I did the reading, I did all the energies that surrounded it. Didn't want to go into it too much because this is, just her reading. But before I got to say anything, because normally I would then turn it around and say, okay, so what can we do now? Now that we know this, now that we understand our past, what can we do to move forward and make things, positive for you in the future? She said all this herself, by the way. Like, I couldn't even, I didn't have the opportunity to say any of this. But what had happened was she said, okay, now that you told me all this, I can understand why, because I can see that I've actually caused this through my insecurity. So I was glad in a way that I didn't have to be quite so blunt and say that to her. I was going to say to her in a more gentle, kind way, but that was going to be the gist of what I was going to say is you've caused this because I sense there are insecurities within your energy and you've projected a lot of that and created the story that he doesn't think you're good enough and thinks that his ex is better than you because you have fears. And I totally relate. When I was younger and I was in a relationship in my early 20s, I believed this about simply through my then boyfriend was telling me all about all of his exes, which I don't know why people feel the need to do that, to really delve into their past and to really start telling me all these things. Like, he told me their first names, their last names, everything about them, what he really loved about them. I'm like, dude, why are you telling me this? But the more he did that, the more insecure I became, and the more I started comparing myself, which is bad idea. So I can totally understand why this girl was doing this. She was starting to compare herself, starting to doubt why she wasn't that good or as good as the ex, and why that her boyfriend of 2 years still prioritizes being friends with the ex and going to see her and then posting photos of each other on social media. I mean, that's not on. But she was lucky in the sense that she could see what she had done, that she had actually created this through her beliefs, through because she was discouraged about him talking about her at the start of their relationship. She's made this story in her head of, I'm not as good as the ex. He's always going to prioritize her. He's always going to think that she's better than me. And if you keep writing that story over and over and over, then yes, you're going to disempower yourself and you're going to be, sorry, giving power to something that really shouldn't have any power. And so I said to her, well, this is the good news. You've recognized this now. What we can do now is fix this by you rewriting your story. And you can absolutely rewrite your story. Just because something had gone something one way in the past does not mean it has to continue on in that way now. If you feel that your relationship is worth saving, you can rewrite your story. I know it's not going to be magically happening overnight. But of course, miracles and magic do happen, and sometimes that does. But don't be discouraged if tomorrow you wake up and he does it again. Just rewrite it. Just go, no, 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 no. I intend for you to actually want to be with me, not with her. You're going to be with me. You're going to be loyal to me. You're going to think that I'm the best thing that's ever happened to you. I mean, she cried when I said to her, she said, can you tell me what his soul actually thinks of me? And I said, well, his soul thinks that you're a great person. And she was in tears. She was like, he thinks I'm a great person? I'm like, you should be thinking that about yourself. I mean, yes, he thinks that, but this just shows how low you feel you've been, treating yourself. Of course you're a great person, and don't cry because someone thinks that of you. You should be thinking that about yourself anyway, and your reaction shouldn't be crying. It should be, well, of course he thinks I'm a great person because I am a great person. So you have the power to rewrite your story. Whatever it is that you don't like, rewrite it. It takes about 28 days. Is it 20 or 28? Something like that, to create a new habit. So dedicate the next 20 to 28 days. Let's make it 28 just to be, safe. Dedicate the next 28 days to rewriting your habit, your new story. So whenever any old thoughts pop into your head of, oh, he doesn't like me, hold on a moment, that's not true. He does like me. He loves me, in fact. Whatever you want the world to reflect to you, you must tell that story. So rewrite it now and don't hesitate. Don't leave another day to go by where you're just telling the world the old stories that just don't feel good to you. See what happens. I thought I would share this because I find this just a very impactful and inspiring thing that she recognized what she needed to do. That's so empowering. If you would like to connect with me, then all my details are in the description. Because of you voting on my poll and enough people have shown interest in separate coaching sessions rather than a reading, I'm offering that now at a lower price. It's a 20% discount, and it is cheaper than my readings, because my readings take up more energy because I have to tune in to energies of other people, and sometimes depending on what situation I'm tuning into, it can be quite draining, so I have to compensate for that use of energy. But yeah, the coaching sessions are more of practical things, like what can I do? We'll talk through your situation, we'll go through the things that you need to change, we'll give you examples, I'll give you guidance on how to change that, and together we will work things through if you feel that I'm the person that can help you with this. So I thank you all so very much for watching. Also, if you'd like to take advantage of my 4K subscriber discount for the month of April, I've got a ton of offers on my special offers page. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions regarding that. And I thank you all so very much. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.